All right, now we're gonna paint this one. This one is July's insert. It's a cute little watermelon popsicle. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the flower white, so we'll have to wipe that off. That should be pretty good. And then this guy will be black. And then on the popsicle, I think I'm gonna do red here, paint all of it red, and then come in with like a black marker and do the seeds. And then I'm gonna start off with light Hauser green here, and then paint dark Hauser green here with the brown stem. Background, I think I'm gonna do light blue. Let's do light blue. How about winter blue? This is my color sample, or color match to Deco Arts winter blue. I need another sponge. This one probably is gonna require 2 coats. I'm not gonna worry about getting rid of the scorching marks because this color should cover it pretty well. Let that dry, clean off my fingers. All right, let's do white. Where did my white sponge go? And I'm just gonna paint the whole flower white and then come in with like a dauber and paint the center of the flower, but that'll require more than one color, or one layer of white. Go over here and get my ant. I think these ants are so stinking cute. As long as they're not on me. Okay. I think, since I want to paint this light, Hauser light green, I'm going to go in with white. And just carefully follow the line. That way I get good coverage and don't have to worry about putting on so many layers of, and we'll just paint the rest of it. So that'll be my base coat for the light Hauser green. And we'll let that dry before we put red on. I'm gonna pause and see if I can go find a different color brown marker. Okay, so I found this brown marker. This is one that I got from Walmart. I think that's a good brown. I also found this brown marker. It's Posh. Yeah, I like it. I don't know. We will see which one we like. There's that one. Kind of has a purple hue to it. That one looks like baby poop. But it looked good on this round for the trees. But maybe I'll try this brown for this stem. We'll see. Okay, everything is dry. I'm gonna go ahead and do another layer of blue on this. You don't have to. And then I think when this is dry, I'm going to add white dots to the background just to give it a little bit more whimsy vibe. And let that dry. All right, let's see here. I think my ant is good, so I'm just gonna stick that one over there. For this guy, I'm gonna go in with my little Hauser light green and go right over the white and just kind of push the paint up to the edge there. You could also use paint pens. Or paint brushes. I feel like with paint brushes it takes a lot longer for the paint to dry. And we're gonna have to go over this again. And it's okay if you get a little bit of the green up here. The red will cover it. All right, we'll go ahead and let that dry and I'll be back. Okay. I'm going to use my scraping tool and just go very lightly over the line. So when I paint the dark Hauser green, I'll be able to see it. And then I'm going to use my sander just to sand it out flat. All right. When you scrape the edges like that, you want to make sure that your point is nice and sharp, and you just want to go through the line very softly. That way it doesn't jump the track. All right. I think for dark Hauser green, yeah, I'm just going to continue using the sponge. I was thinking about changing my sponge just so that it was a little not so plump, but this will be fine. And then I'm just gonna go to the line. Doesn't have to be perfect. You could also use an ombre effect where you put light Hauser green and then dark Hauser green, and which I will review how to do an ombre effect in one of these tutorials. I think I want to do it for the fall leaf. And then I like that. So we will let that dry. And in the meantime, I'm going to paint the red. So red always requires more than one coat. So I'm just going to carefully go up against the light Hauser green. And you don't have to paint this like this. You can paint it however your heart desires. This is just to inspire you guys. We'll let that dry. I will add my dot. Where's my other dotting tool? I think I'm gonna use like a bright yellow. And so I just load up the tip of my little dotting tool here and put the dot in the middle of this little engraved circle and push the paint to the edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can go over the engrave if you want, or if you did a boo-boo, it is okay. It's still cute. I think since I'm waiting on this to dry, I am also going to use my small side of my dotting tool and add just a little bit of a white dot to his little antennas. And then I'm always get dot happy, but just to add a little bit of dimension to him, I went ahead and added a few dots around his little rear. Cute. I think what I'm also gonna do is add it, because I'm a more is more person. You can't tell me otherwise. So I keep getting too much paint on my. So I added some paint and I'm just gonna dot it off on my paper so there isn't so much. And then I'm gonna go add some dots to the bottom of his head, just like that. I don't know that I like it. So since it's white, I can just take my baby wipe and wipe it off. I think I'm just gonna keep them like that. I don't know. If you disagree, put it in the comments. But my project, not yours. I think he's cute. On this, I think I'm gonna add some white dots to the background. So again, I just do my 4 corners, or however you wanna. We'll do one in the middle. It'll be covered, and then we'll go on the inside. My white paint on my palette is getting a little dry, which usually is not good for dotting, but I'm gonna roll with it. I think that that's just fine. I'll let that dry. And I should be good on this one to add another layer of medium. This is medium Hauser, no, this is Hauser dark green. And I like that. I don't need to add any more to that. And then we'll go in with the red, which is the crimson color. Not that dry. Maybe I'll try a little wisp. You know me, more is more. No. I have to tell myself no, because I am a more is more person. All right, we're gonna let this dry. I'll come back. Okay, it is dry. Well, the red's still a little damp, but the dark green, Hauser green, is dry. And I'm gonna go ahead and color the stem brown. So I just used my scoring tool and went across the line so I can see it. It's a little dark, but it's fine. It's cute. And this red is dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use one of these black multi-liner from Mr. Pen. This is a 0.06 inch, or millimeters, I don't know, not millimeters. I'm just gonna say that it's a scratch that. This is the size of the pen, 0.6. Not sure if that means millimeters or what. I doubt it means millimeters. I don't know. So I'm gonna use this pen and just color in the inside, and my paint might still be a little too wet, of the seeds. If you don't have one of these pens, which doesn't want to be going onto this paint because it still might be a little wet, I'm gonna try just a regular old Sharpie. Oh, that works good. my paint was still wet there. You don't need fancy tools or have really good technique when a Sharpie's a dang good tool. I might have got paint on my Sharpie. Because now it doesn't want to write. So, just make sure your paint layer is dry before you start using your markers. Or your felt tip pens. I've seen some people use gel pens on this as well, and those are cute. Keep scribbling on my paper over here because I feel like it's getting gunked up or something. Like, got a little bit of green right there, so I'm just gonna take my red and cover it up. Pretty cute. Now, because I'm an extra person, I'm gonna put some dots. Those dots are ugly. That was silly of me because I have a flower that I'm going to put right there. But, oh well. Cute. Okay. I think I'm ready to glue this together. Those are dry for the most part. So, I think with this, I'm going to put it kind of at a diagonal. Nope, my glue. Sometimes the glue will dry in the head of this, and so a needle will help. unclog. Okay, we are gonna do a diagonal and cute. Center that's still a little wet. And this guy, I'm gonna put him right there. And he is done. I think he turned out cute.